Hi, I'm Dr. Morgan Grinnell with Acacia Collaborative. You might be tuning in today because either you, your child, or a loved one recently received a diagnosis of ADHD, or perhaps you have a long-standing diagnosis, or even just because you're wondering if the behaviors you're seeing in yourself or a loved one are related to ADHD. All of those are great reasons to be here because today I'm going to talk a little bit about how ADHD impacts life outside of educational settings. Oftentimes, children and adolescents who have received a diagnosis of ADHD have been referred for an evaluation because of academic or school difficulties. Symptoms of ADHD span those in the realm of inattention, which includes things like being easily distracted, forgetful, and appearing not to listen, as well as hyperactivity and impulsivity, which include symptoms like struggling to remain seated, blurting out, and fidgeting. Although the first focus of treatment is often improving behaviors in the classroom, it is important to be aware of how ADHD may affect other areas of life. Let's talk about how ADHD looks at home. Those same symptoms of ADHD you notice in school, like disorganization, you may see manifested as a messy room. People with ADHD often have difficulty finishing tasks, so you may notice that you or your loved one flits from one activity to another around the home without really finishing anything. When we're talking about a younger child, that may mean piles of toys and half-finished games and homework. With adolescents and adults, that may mean not quite complete chores, accidentally leaving things turned on and plugged in, and misplaced items around the house. Speaking of misplaced items, one complaint I frequently hear is about the endless search for important items like keys. Adolescents and adults with ADHD really benefit from having set routines in the home, and when one thing goes awry, sometimes things get put places they just shouldn't be. One relatively simple solution is to have a key rack or key bowl near the door for family members to place their keys so they are the first thing they put down when arriving home and the last thing they pick up before leaving. Other things you might see in the home environment are risky behaviors like speeding while driving or climbing unsafe structures. ADHD can impact a person's ability to think through decisions, to see the outcomes or the possible outcomes before engaging in those actions. Now, ADHD can also impact social situations. Common concerns for kids and adolescents with ADHD is not having a best friend. Parents report that their child bounces around from one friend group to another, but may be on the fringe of those groups and as such don't get invited to many parties or outings. Research in this area backs up those concerns. Kids and adolescents with ADHD may present as more immature than their peers and have trouble understanding boundaries. This means that they may unintentionally invade others' personal space or frequently interrupt others while talking. These things often happen because the person who has ADHD has difficulty containing their excitement and zest, and they may be impatient partially due to their brain's difficulty to inhibit responses. All in all, the information I'm discussing today is not intended to give you or your child a free pass on behaviors that might not be conducive to optimal functioning. Although living with ADHD can be difficult, ADHD can also give people the propensity to roll with the punches and genuinely enjoy adventure. Instead, my goal is to help you understand, empathize, and give a little grace to those who may be feeling the effects of ADHD symptoms in multiple areas of their life. As always, please reach out if you feel like you need help managing these symptoms. We're here to help.